Hoi allemaal, ik heet Cyrus, welkom terug op mijn kanaal. Here we are, vandaag, het is tutorial number 3 of the Patrick Ta, almost said Divine Rose 2, of the Patrick Ta Major Dimension 2 eyeshadow palette. Obviously, this is what it looks like. Very gorgeous, very beautiful. The last two tutorials I did were quite beautiful. They are starting to look a little redundant and kind of the same for me, basically, which is kind of annoying. But for the most part, I mean, tutorial number 3, we are, I'd say, just now getting more into the palette. I do have an idea today. I will continue with the Hydra-Luxe Major Skin Hydra-Luxe Luminous Skin Perfecting Foundation and 18 Golden Neutral. I've gotten some color. It has been quite more summery lately with the Netherlands, except for today, obviously. And I think for concealer, I will dive into using my NARS Longwear Radiant. What is this? Radiant Creamy Concealer. It's already kind of like leaking, which is annoying, and I just got it. But for the most part, I also got NARS Laguna number 4. I did use it on a model. It was actually quite beautiful, but I completely forgot that I also had this from Benefit. I mean, we have regular Hoola, we have Hoola Caramel, some blushes, the highlighter, which is Cookie. But I mean, I should do a series on highlighters, because look at that. That's like, this is Hoola. Ooh, Caramel is a lot more warmer than this. I'd say it's almost the same. But I will be diving more into using NARS, and I might use the Cookie today. Maybe, we shall see. But without further ado, let us go ahead. I kind of want to do like a smoky look today is what I kind of want to do. So let me go ahead and prep my eyes and we'll get into this tutorial. All right, the eyes are prepped and primed basically with the Pro Filt'r eyeshadow primer from Fenty Beauty. I mean, look at this. This has lasted me quite a few tutorials. So I would say, I would go as far as to say that lasts quite some time, because I have 1 or 2 more extra that I bought when I went to London last year. Was that a year ago? Jesus, that was a year ago. Bruh, a lot has happened. So I kind of want to do like a smoky look today. The question is, because I'm thinking of using Heartache for the smoky look today. But let us start with Desire. And then that's gonna kind of be our brow bone highlight. I'd say this is more of a warm type of copper. Almost an apricot. I mean, could be like an apricot. But we're gonna use this for the brow bone. So it is literally the last week of June right now. I have no idea when you guys will be seeing this, but it is June 24th, actually. So I'm very curious as to this holiday season of what will be coming out for a Patrick Ta. But for the most part, I do want to get a few more foundations for the winter. And I actually might want to convert over to using strictly Patrick Ta and the rest of my Urban Decay Naked Skin for a lot of my photo shoots. And I think I might leave out Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Flawless Filter foundation, just because I personally do not want to be using full coverage for more of my professional photo shoots for my models. But we shall see. So that is in the crease. What did I use? Desire. For the crease, I am thinking of maybe doing, what is the second to last? AMOUR. Question is, which brush am I going to use for this one? Let's do... So I'm more into the crease, because I want a little bit of depth. Just a smidge of depth. And I'm curious as to how well this will go against Desire. I hope it was Desire. Whew, sorry, still a little warm from the gym. My pre-workout's still kicking in, but like I said, this year is more focused on health, self-help. Wow. Figuring out what I really want to do long term as far as work, while I continue pursuing this and making my dreams become a reality, because I ain't working for people. But for the most part, I mean, this is definitely leaning warm. But just to add a little something. This palette definitely has more of warm, I'd say like spring, Valentine's spring type of warmth, with a little bit depth of that mauve, which is quite nice. And you can tell I don't have tape on today because, like I said, I really want to do more of a smoky. So the way I do this is I line it up to there is where I put my crease shade rather than all the way down, because I want to keep my eyes open for the most part. So that is there. The blendability and the depth that these shadows have for the brand is quite unique and beautiful, because they build upon each other very, very nicely. Do I want to do a matte smoky, or do I want to do a sparkle smoky? Ooh. Because it's between Affair and Heartache. Let's do Affair, right? Affair. Screw it. Okay. You know what this reminds me of, actually? The Utopian Dream, or the Divine Rose 2, that's trio chrome. It reminds me of that shade. Wow, okay. Anyways, putting this on, tapping it on, actually. And this just feels like liquid. Oh, this is such a beautiful color. I'm a little hesitant to use the creams in this as a base, just because, I don't know, I'm just old school and just using eyeshadow primer. When I got into makeup over, 20 years ago now, it was always eyeshadow primer, and I never switched away from that. Concealer, I would say I used every now and then if I forgot my primer or I ran out of primer on set or at a wedding. But look at this. Oh. And Urban Decay still is my OG primer to go to. Oof, freaking hell. But I would say Fenty Beauty's Pro Filter Eyeshadow Primer has taken the main spot of that for sure for me. All right. Now for the bottom, we are gonna go, where's my double-ended? One interesting shadow brush that I always use. Gonna take Affair. Was it Fair, right? Yes. And just put it on the bottom as well, because I will probably just go in with the Pat McGrath's Blackout liner. Oh, and she also came out with lip liner too, which is cool, I guess. I know, I'm a little over a lot of brands lately with a lot of stuff that they've been bringing out, because I just want to focus on tutorials. I really don't want to focus on anything new anymore, because being in the industry for as long as I have, everything has been done. There is really not, everything's being reformulated, renamed, redone. Ooh. So for me, there's really truly nothing new. All right, so there's that. And then at the edges, not the edges, the corners, there we go. Go ahead and put that in. It's actually quite an interesting combination. And the color story in this palette is quite unique, because if you layer these, you do get a lot of palettes that are already done. So I'm curious, let me take, what is this, Lust, and just gently, there we go, kind of mainly right in the middle. Ooh, it changes the dynamic of this for sure. Okay, I literally think that is it for the eyes, because that is actually quite beautiful. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face. I will continue to use the Patrick Ta's liquid foundation for this look. And then you guys will see the final look in a moment. And I believe I will continue using Patrick Ta's blush. Oh, they also reformulated the highlighters, which I kind of want to get, but then at the same time, I really don't want to because I have so much already. But we shall see. Like I said, the rest of the year, I really need to tone down my spending on makeup and focus more on my health and honing down the use of a lot of products within my makeup kit. But I also really want to start selling some of my stuff that can be sold that has not been used, to be quite honest, or touched, or even maybe swatched once or twice, which is quite sad and disgusting. But we shall see what the rest of this year holds. I am also very curious about the holiday sets this year from certain brands, which will determine if I want to continue to get stuff from certain brands. But for the most part, I mean, bronzers, I do want to get a few setting powders from NARS, a few more from Pat McGrath Labs. Because I think from Pat McGrath, I do have, was it light medium 2, which is more of this. I am curious about NARS light reflecting setting powder. But without further ado, you guys will see the final look in a moment. Here is the final look of tutorial number 3 of the Patrick, who is she? Patrick Ta palette focus of the, I always want to say Divine Rose 2 and Utopian Dream. Major Dimensions number 2, which is more of the rose tone, which is beautiful. Look at that. Oh, whatever. Let's leave it as that. So, completely done. Love this look, actually. It's very dewy, that's for sure. Very properly hydrated. But for the most part, foundation is the Hydra-Luxe Luminous Skin Perfected Foundation in number 18 Golden Neutral, which I still think is kind of, well, it's kind of dark, but it matches like my hand and my forearm perfectly fine, which is cool. But bronzer is actually NARS, no, let me reframe that. So color correctors are still the Flash Luminizer by Dior and the Charlotte Tilbury's Vanish whatever in number 2. Concealer is a mixture of NARS Radiant Longwear and Ginger and Charlotte Tilbury's Skin Radiant Perfecting Concealer in 8.5 medium. Those two mixed together. Bronzer is Laguna by NARS number 4. Actually showed up, which is quite nice. Blush, I actually went in with the Loyal from the palette, which is definitely more of this cool tone mauve, and it showed up beautifully. This is like the type of mauve blush I love for my skin tone, and it blended out magnificently. So I'm very curious as to what this would be more like as far as playing on the eye, blown out into the temples. We shall see. Finishing powder is actually from the medium 3 is what I've been using for finishing powder, which is actually quite exquisite. It tames everything down, and yes, they are cutting whatever they're cutting out there. They're finally pretending to be busy. But for the most part, the finishing powder I do love because it tames it down enough, but it still keeps a little bit of luminosity and the glow coming through. But for the most part, that is what I have on my face. Lips is a combination of the lip cheat reshape and resize lip liner and Love Trap with NARS. I should remember this. Soft Matte Tinted Lip Balm and Intimate are the 2 I have on. I want to keep the lips quite neutral and just focus on the eyes and the skin. But that as a blush is gorgeous. Because I mixed the Loyal and what was the other one? Unfaithful together. It came out more of like a deeper berry. But I think for this look, the focus is on the eyes. The brows are still by Benefit. And the face is set by Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray by none other than Shar. So as usual, go to my Instagram page to see the final edits. I will see you guys next tutorial. I definitely have quite a few more ideas with this palette. And like I said, I'm very curious as to how this plays well with Utopian Dream and also Divine Rose 2 from Pat McGrath, which I will definitely incorporate into this palette focus, which will definitely be later down the road. Oh, eyes are also lined by Pat McGrath. Oh gosh, what is it called? My word. Permagel Ultra Glide Eye Pencil and Extreme Black is what I have for the liner. So let me go take the pictures because they're getting here and it's about to get noisy. So see you guys next tutorial.